Maduro could fall victim to his own rhetoric. Having whipped up the military and the population, either he takes action on Guyana or risks losing military support, especially as they feel they have a newfound importance in society, having drunk the Kool-Aid that, quote again, the Essequibo belongs to Venezuela.
Hi, I'm Ryan Berg, Director of the Americas Program.
And I'm Chris Hernandez-Roy, Deputy Director and Senior Fellow of the Americas Program.
And we're here to talk about our recent commentary with Henry Ziemer, Rubi Bledsoe, Joseph S. Bermudez Jr., and Jennifer Jun, the Essequibo Pressure Cooker, Runaway Nationalism and Maduro's Compellence Strategy. In February of this year, CSIS Americas published a very important piece with satellite imagery showing the Maduro regime using what we called a compellence strategy against Guyana. In other words, a strategy of coercive diplomacy to pursue territorial gains in the Essequibo, a disputed territory administered by Guyana. The update to this shows that the Maduro regime is still using a compellence strategy to coerce Guyana into giving some concessions away.
What's new at this point is the scale of the effort by Venezuela to convince an audience at home and abroad that, quote, the Essequibo is Venezuelan. And we're seeing through satellite imagery continued buildup and increasingly rapid buildup of the military base on Anacoco, where they've just constructed a bridge and they've rolled a bunch of new tanks in. They're deploying additional naval assets and aircraft to the city of Gidia, including more Zolfagar fast missile boats. There's been a tremendous amount of naval activity, all of this being telegraphed through social media. They're using lots of fuel when there are gas shortages in Venezuela. And just recently, and perhaps most alarmingly, they've moved two of these Zolfagar, these are Iranian fast missile boats, to a small Coast Guard station in an area called Punta Barima. And we warned about this in our previous report, because this is a little base that's only 40 miles, in fact, it's 40 kilometers from Guyanese-controlled Essequibo. And we feel that that is quite a significant escalation, given that there's really nothing to defend in that area. So I think that one big takeaway is that it's going to be very hard to de-escalate this situation. And Maduro could fall victim to his own rhetoric. Having whipped up the military and the population, either he takes action on Guyana or risks losing military support, especially as they feel they have a newfound importance in society, having drunk the Kool-Aid that, quote again, the Essequibo belongs to Venezuela.
The commentary relates to the larger policy discussion because all of this activity takes place within an electoral context in Venezuela. The regime is supposed to preside over presidential elections on July 28th. The opposition is doing incredibly well at the present moment and has painted the regime into a corner. Many have speculated that the regime could possibly use threats against Guyana to manufacture a crisis and thereby have some kind of underlying excuse to cancel or postpone or to cheat or to provide a distraction for a stolen election. Additionally, all of this activity is contributing to security threats within the Western Hemisphere that the United States does not need as it grapples with an active war in Ukraine, as well as an active war in the Middle East.
To read the full commentary, the Essequibo Pressure Cooker, Runaway Nationalism and Maduro's Compellence Strategy, please visit csis.org.